I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Maria Elena Giassi, and this is Currents.
Young people from Brooklyn and Queens get prepared for a journey they'll never forget.
I'm hoping it's going to be some out-of-the-world experience.
Plus, Bishop Dimarzio stops by to talk about that journey, World Youth Day in Madrid.
I think it's clear that these young people come with a purpose. It's not just an outing.
And a pilgrim shares her story of faith.
Faith has always given me strength to go on. It's what made sense in my life. God was always there for me.
Well, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The wait is almost over. World Youth Day just hours away now. About 1.5 million Catholic young people from around the world are in Spain to share their faith and be strengthened spiritually. Among them, nearly 600 young men and women from the Diocese of Brooklyn, the largest group from any U.S. diocese.
And the preparation for the trip was months in the making. Back in February, the Office of Faith Formation sponsored a pre-pilgrimage day of prayer for these local pilgrims at St. Gerard Majella Church in Queens.
Father Gannon had the great idea of getting everybody together before World Youth Day really kicks off. In the past, everyone kind of just met at JFK Airport or LaGuardia Airport. And Father Gannon had the great idea of getting everybody together beforehand so they kind of meet each other before we go on the pilgrimage in August to Spain.
The goal of today is to encourage the youth who are going to World Youth Day to start looking at it as a pilgrimage, as a journey that takes preparation, spiritual preparation. They've already been preparing economically, but they need to prepare spiritually, they need to prepare physically as well, and to open their hearts on this journey, to see it as a journey, not just a vacation or a trip, to see it as an experience to pray with the whole church surrounded by the Holy Father.
While you're away in Madrid, you're going to see what's really not a common sight anymore, and it's actually a beautiful sight. You're going to see a lot of young men and women religious. World Youth Day is a worldwide convention of young people from every country in the world, and it began in the late 1970s when our late Holy Father, John Paul II, called the first meeting of the youth in Rome. Since then, it has taken place every 2 or 3 years on different continents and in different countries from around the world. The goals of World Youth Day would be for the youth to go and see that they are not the only young person that celebrates their faith. It really enlivens them and lifts them up, and the hope is that they come back charged, that they really become the leaders of the church today and in the future.
Something is going to happen to all of you, but something intense. And what may happen is that the Lord may be asking some of you here to come back from Madrid and perhaps maybe to think about more seriously the Lord's call to priesthood and religious life.
Going on these trips is definitely an experience that strengthens your bond with God and with the church, and it just gives you a better feeling of your religion and yourself.
I guess it'd be really good to have, interactions with other people from around the world. I know that's definitely going to be part of it. Meeting tons of new people, being able to see the Pope.
A pilgrimage is a journey of faith, right? Many of us know what it's like to go on vacation. We pack some things, we go, we sightsee, we enjoy. Pilgrimage, we do the same things. We do enjoy, we do pack, we do plan. But it's a journey of faith. Every single day leads them to the foundation of why we're there. And why we're there is not primarily to see our Holy Father. He happens to be the person who leads the pilgrimage and calls us together. It's because we're rooted and built up in Christ Jesus. Did the Pope call the convention? Yes, he did. Did our parishes get us involved? Yes, they did. Did our parents let us go and sign the permission forms? Yes, they did. Did people very generously help us afford to be able to go? Yes, they did. But the only reason we go is for our love for Christ. I think it definitely works as far as planting a seed in every single person that goes, no matter what the motivation. If someone's going because their parent wants them to go, if someone's going because their youth group wants to go, every single person that goes to World Youth Day is transformed somewhere in some way from the inside out.
More than just a trip. Well, stay with us. There is much more Currents ahead.
When we return, Brooklyn's pilgrims get a World Youth Day roadmap.
Welcome back to Currents. I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Maria Elena Giassi. Coming up, she'll be our woman on the ground in Madrid throughout World Youth Day. She gives us her eyewitness.
But first, vocation, reconciliation, formation. The World Youth Day pilgrims will have plenty of opportunity to explore those things and much more over the next 6 days.
Earlier this month, the Diocese of Brooklyn brought its pilgrims together to give them a roadmap, both spiritually and logistically. At that gathering, we had a chance to hear from some of the young people as well as the leaders who'll be helping to guide them on their journey.
Even if you're going out socially for dinner, you must wear your World Youth Day credentials, okay? That's how you're identified for the week as a pilgrim. You'll be allowed into certain places, and you do get on the mass transit system with it.
Today we're at the Immaculate Conception Center in Douglaston, New York, where we're going to have a little meeting and mass for everybody who's going to World Youth Day Madrid. Everybody who's coming in today is going to be getting t-shirts that we're going to be wearing throughout our stay in Madrid. We're also going to be giving out water bottles for the kids so that they'll have everything that they need when they're in Madrid. We're also going to be having some Q&A. They're going to get all their tickets, all their packets, and everything that the parishes need before we leave.
Inside your bag also is a colored road map, and that road map tells you what days you're going to wear what shirts. Let me tell you what the benefit of wearing those shirts is. If you're the person who is needs a little extra time, or you needed to stop for a moment and rest, and the group is all the way ahead, and you see a whole sea of yellow, you know you're not lost.
Well, when they're in Spain, the pilgrims will go to catechesis. They'll have lessons on the faith almost every morning. They'll have Mass every single day. They'll go to what is being called the Field of Forgiveness. They'll have an opportunity for reconciliation. There'll be a Vocations Expo. And then, of course, there's opportunities for the pilgrims to be with our Holy Father at benediction and adoration, and at the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, and a wonderful ceremony that they have for the Holy Father.
You are really going on a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage means you're going to someplace holy. And what is holy is that you're going to be with probably another million young people from all around the world who've come together in Madrid for the purpose of seeing the Holy Father, but also of celebrating their faith in various ways. Every pilgrimage gives people away from their ordinary circumstances, gives them an experience of encounter with God. It's something that will last a lifetime. So that's my hope, that they will come away from this pilgrimage changed and more people of faith.
There is a Mass on Saturday morning for every pilgrim from the United States of America. And after that Mass, we'll make our way to the field where we're going to have the evening vigil with our Holy Father.
It was good to just hear some of the questions that people had because they were things that I had thought about, but hadn't really had an answer to.
What makes me want to be part of World Youth Day is the fact that it's a place where I could re-encounter myself with God.
I am very happy that she has this opportunity to go to meet the Pope. I'm hoping it's going to be some out-of-the-world experience.
Any pilgrim that's going really understands that this is a pilgrimage and not a vacation. They know that they go with the eyes of faith and with the heart of faith. And while there are elements of vacation, they're away from home, they're meeting new people, they realize that there's a definite religious overtone to everything they do this week.
And throughout the week, we'll be hearing in depth from some of the pilgrims from Brooklyn and Queens who are heading there to Spain, and they'll be telling us their very personal stories, so be sure and tune in for that.
And don't go anywhere. There's more Currents ahead.
Coming up, Bishop Dimarzio goes into the deep about World Youth Day 2011.
They are prepared and they want to show their faith, and I think it's a great thing that we have World Youth Day.
Welcome back. Well, World Youth Day can be described in many ways. It's a journey, but it's also a destination. And many people would also describe it as an experience.
One man who is a veteran of that experience is our very own Bishop Nicholas Dimarzio. He's been to 3 previous World Youth Days as bishop, most recently in 2008 when he accompanied young people from the Diocese of Brooklyn to Sydney, Australia.
And 3 years later, now he's back. He's made the trip again with the pilgrims from Brooklyn, this time, of course, in Madrid. I had a chance to go into the deep to talk with him about World Youth Day, what it means for the young people who attend, and its big impact on the host city. Bishop Dimarzio, thanks for being here once again.
Okay.
Appreciate your time. Getting ready for World Youth Day this time around. I know that you were part of the delegation, I guess, if you will, to Sydney last time around, and were there and played a big part in things going on for people who traveled from the Brooklyn diocese there, the young people that went. Will you be doing something similar this time in Madrid?
Yes, I'll be doing the same thing as I did even before in Cologne and Rome. So this will be the 4th World Youth Day I've attended as bishop.
Wow, wow, it's an amazing time for young people. And really, I guess, culturally speaking, Madrid couldn't be any different than Sydney.
Well, in some ways it is very similar. I mean, Spain right now has a very secular attitude, as was Australia. And I think the bishops of Spain requested that they run World Youth Day again to have the same results as they felt that they had in Australia, that this influx of young people manifesting their faith could have an influence on the general population, as it did in Sydney. I remember Sydney, and I remember just talking to a cab driver, and he said, I thought this was going to be terrible, but these young people, I mean, they're so much different from what we see when we have these rock concerts, and they really are sincere. And this man was a Russian Jew, who was the cab driver, who was talked to me about this. So I think it's clear that these young people come with a purpose. It's not just an outing. They are prepared, and they want to show their faith, and I think it's a great thing that we have World Youth Day.
Sure, more than just a vacation to an exotic location.
Right.
It's very much something that the kids are going there to really learn and grow in their faith. Talk to us about your emphasis on the importance of this event spiritually for young people.
Well, it brings them to someplace else. Again, I think pilgrimages are very important for young people. It gets them out of their circumstances, brings them to some holy place or some holy event, and it has a chance to work on them. It gives them an opportunity to be away from what they're familiar with and to see the world in a different way, and people from all over the world professing the same faith that they have. So it's a great opportunity to strengthen the faith of young people.
And is that one of the reasons you think a lot of young people will make so much sacrifice to be able to actually make it and go to the World Youth Day?
I think so. I don't know if they all know what they're getting into, what they're going to experience, but they do want, it's something different. They're adventurous, as young people should be. They want to see the world, and they find perhaps something they weren't expecting, an atmosphere of faith and solidarity, which is very important.
What is your hope for the pilgrims in Madrid? What is your hope that they'll find there?
Well, that they do strengthen their faith. There's a catechesis program before the events. There are many opportunities to deepen the spiritual atmosphere. I'm going myself. We have 350 going with us. There's another 100 or so from the Neo-Catechumenal movement, and there's other parishes that are doing it. So we should probably have at least 500 from the Diocese of Brooklyn, which is quite a good number. So, and we will try to get them together one day for a Mass just for our diocesan participants. So I think that's important, that we do some to be with them. Bishop Caggiano also is going, so the two of us will be there to accompany them, to give them leadership, and to challenge them.
Sure. And one last question here for you, Bishop. Will there be some sort of follow-up with them when they get back from Madrid?
Right. We have a send-off, actually. I forgot. Bishop Cisneros is also coming. So the three of us will be there. We have a send-off Mass, and then we have follow-up afterwards, individually in the parishes, and also like kind of a reunion that we have. So we just don't let it sit. We try to capitalize on it and revive it and let people realize and relive what they experienced.
All right, well, all the best, and of course we'll have cameras there, and we'll be following you guys around. So
good to be with you there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, Bishop Dimarzio, thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Take care.
And indeed we will be. Stay with us. There's much more currents ahead. When we return, for this pilgrim, World Youth Day is much more than just a trip to Spain.
I can't wait to see the impact Pope Benedict has on people and the presence he has around him.
Finally tonight, close to 600 pilgrims from the Diocese of Brooklyn who are headed to World Youth Day make up a diverse group. They come from parishes throughout Brooklyn and Queens, which are home to native New Yorkers, transplants from across the U.S., and immigrants from at least 167 countries.
That is a diverse group. Well, each night we'll be bringing you exclusive coverage of this very diverse delegation. It's a lot of ground to cover, and we'll be getting some help from the diocese newspaper, The Tablet. Reporter Antonina Jelinska will be our woman on the ground in Madrid.
Before heading off to Spain, she sat down to talk with us about her faith and what she's looking forward to at World Youth Day. Antonina is tonight's eyewitness.
I'm excited that because I will be going with the diocesan group and because my editor asked me personally to go, this will be an experience I would never have had otherwise because I would never have thought of it. I'm going to Spain to follow the pilgrims from the Brooklyn Diocese to see how they react to World Youth Day and see how it impacts them and see what it means for them. And I'll be taking a lot of photos along the way to capture the important moments of these young people's lives for everyone here. I was raised Catholic and my mom put a lot of effort into raising me Catholic, and she wanted to share the goodness of God with me. The faith has always given me strength to go on. It's what made sense in my life. God was always there for me, even though sometimes I wished he wasn't all the time. But I had a very difficult childhood and I had to go through a lot, but God was the one constant in my life, was my one true north. This will be the first time I see Pope Benedict. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see the impact Pope Benedict has on people and the presence he has around him. Because the last time I met a pope, it was John Paul, and the effect he had on the crowd was just mesmerizing. It was something that is indescribable, and you could be in whatever time in your life, whatever religion, and you could be atheist, but you still had respect for this man. Pope Benedict is very different, has a much different personality, and I'm just eager to see what it's like to sit in one of his homilies and then be in his presence and how it affects all the people around me, because I think that's the most incredible thing. This man from Rome just has this incredible impact of all people all around the world, and I can't wait to be in that crowd of people and see how that comes out. The Tablet, it's been such a great shock and a surprise to me to see there's so many people out there just working for their faith, and so many young people especially really caring about God. And to me that was a shock. Like, I did not know people can be that involved with their church and that it's just almost a norm. And I can't wait to see that in a global level. I'm looking forward to hearing about the backstories of each individual pilgrim and seeing how much they sacrifice and why they sacrifice so much and what they got out of it at the end. And I hope that by the few examples I'll be able to bring back, it will paint a picture of hope for the future for the people back here. I'm truly excited to go to World Youth Day because I have no idea what it will be like. And I have no idea what it will mean to me. And I'll have no idea how God will change my heart through this experience. And that's what's most exciting to me. I have no idea. I don't know what I'll get out of it. And I'll learn something new, I'm sure, about the church and about myself and about my relationship to God. But I don't know what that will be. And that's the most exciting part for me.
Antonina Jelinska, tonight's eyewitness there, and she'll be with us all week from Madrid, Spain, with the Brooklyn Pilgrims at World Youth Day. And then here in the studio will be, a big fanfare, Maria Elena. Maria Elena, thanks for being here and doing this during World Youth Day. We really appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Well, and so just so everybody knows kind of who Maria Elena is, I mean, you're with the Tablet.
I am.
And you're sitting in with me today, but then you'll be providing filling the anchor chair during the World Youth Day coverage here on Currents.
Yes.
So, and you've actually been before, right?
I have. I've been to 2 World Youth Days. I went in 2005 to Cologne, Germany, and in 2008 to Sydney, Australia, and they were amazing experiences.
Nice. So you can bring that perspective to our coverage here.
Absolutely.
And of course, Antonina there on the ground in Madrid. It's
Yes.
almost like I feel like I'm with CNN or one of the big networks, and we've got somebody embedded overseas.
Exactly.
It's really cool though. I really think we're going to be able to provide, I think, really great coverage with a great perspective of what it's like there, what it's like like here with you know, people really praying and thinking about the youth as they're there. So I think it's going to be a great time.
Definitely. And Antonina's already sent back some pictures, so
nice.
We'll have great coverage.
She's been a busy girl already, I understand.
She has. She has.
Wonderful. Well, very good. Well, we'll be looking forward to our special coverage all week long and into the weekend.
Yes.
So. All right, well, that is it for this particular edition of Currents. Now, we will be with you for the next 6 nights with exclusive coverage of the Brooklyn Pilgrims at World Youth Day.
We'll have that and much more from Madrid, Spain, each night this week on Currents. Be sure to tune in each night at 7:30.
And Net will also have coverage of live events from World Youth Day. Tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for the opening mass from Madrid. You won't want to miss that. Yeah. For all of us here at Currents, I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Maria Elena Giassi. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.